Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Phoenix Gundam here. So as far as the unit goes, this is something you are able to pick up when you purchase the DLC. So this is not a unit that you are able to unlock via blueprint. So this is definitely a unit that is kind of a lock unit in a sense here. But as far as the unit goes, this one is going to be a sharpshooter with a HP of 307. Boost at 120, melee 135, ranged at 180. So these are just going to be pretty much the base stat, and the armor as far as the damage cut rate is actually not too bad. It's definitely pretty respectable. So let's take a look at some of his armament. So as for the main melee, we do have a beam saber. Main range attack, we do have a beam rifle of 8 magazine, and then 11 seconds cooldown, so that's actually quite good. As for the sub weapon 1, we have the feather funnel. Feather funnel, so that's going to be a 4 magazine, and then 42 seconds for the reload. That is a quite a long time right there. So as for your sub 2, we have the mega beam cannon, so that's going to be a 1 ammo. Reload rate is going to be a 13 seconds, so that's looking fairly good. So all of these attack are all going to be beams. So but as for your SPA, your special attack, what happened? We have a physical melee, so it's going to transform into a mobile armor mode and then unleash a charging strike. So I guess the overall unit, just even looking at the just this itself, before we going into battle, you're like, what? Wait a minute. This one is a sharpshooter, but we have a melee attack. Yeah, we have that. So as far as actually building this unit, it is actually a little bit difficult, just because of the fact that you do have to take into the consideration of, oh, I do have a melee special attack. So it's either you go full shot or you go full melee. If you do go in between, it's kind of like it's gonna be a burden, right? Just because you are going to be sacrificing a lot of stat trying to go for that middle ground, so it's not really going to be all that worth it. But yeah, that is going to be pretty much it as for the basic information of this overall unit. So let's check out some of the, or before checking about, let's say, the pilot skills or even the equipment, let's take a look at it at, let's say, some of its higher level. So I am actually going to be taking a look at only base 80, because as far as I've been comparing, I have only been comparing a base level 80. So to just make everything equal, I will be doing that for this one as well. Alright, as for your base level 80 stat, these are going to be the following stats. So HP went up to 543 or 1543, boost went to 215, melee went to 524, and then ranged went over to 698. So that's actually not that bad, but I think if this was breaking that 700 above that, that would be a little bit better. So yeah, but if you talk about fully and max out at level 90, these are going to be some of the stats. So boost is a little bit slacking, and the or as far as the range, finally reaching that 700, so that's actually looking fairly good. So let's check out some of the equipment that I went for this unit, and then the pilot skills as well. As for the equipment, this is what I went with. So I went for a range, obviously. So these are going to be the latest equipment level. So these are basically level 10 parts. So I went for the range. Pretty much I wanted to change all my attack type to physical, so I can take advantage of some of the other one, like this over here. Physical melee / ring attack up by 40%, so that's that. This one is going to get translated into physical as well, so that's no problem. And then also going to be a little bit more boosting to my overall gauge, so that's always going to be helpful. This one just simply for that, nice juicy flat stat up to 88. Full recovery kit, that's pretty much going to be for my ally, and then sub weapon attack up by 15%. I haven't found anything that's way higher. Still farming, right? In terms of rolling for these equipment, they are a pain. So that's definitely going to take a little bit more time. And then this one is simply just to have that sub weapon one to have more. So this one 28% was actually enough to push it, where now I'll have 5 ammunition, so that's actually not that bad in a sense. So that's all I have for the equipment part. So up next, let's talk about some of the pilot skills. Alright, so as far as the skill set, I went for the roll action star. So this one, if I can click back, as far as this one, it's going to be pretty much reducing the roll action skill meter consumption. As for a long or as for a sharpshooter, you always do want that meter bar to be able to have accessibility for that. So that's why I wanted to be, consumption to be reduced, so I can kind of use it a little bit more. Ready to go. So this one is probably gonna be a must-have if you are using this unit specifically, just because you do want to start out the mission. So after you empty out your whole ammunition, for example, you want that instant recharge. So that 50% is definitely going to be very helpful. And then up next, since you do have that meter bar up and ready, then this is pretty much going to trigger sniper. So when roll action is activated, temporary raises increases ranged attack damage. So that is going to be very helpful. Some other one that you can definitely sub in, for example, you can sub in for this one. So as for your sub weapons, chance to not consume ammo. This one's gonna be a very RNG basis, because in terms of, let's say, your last slot in terms of the sub 2, that one is only one magazine, so it's either you get it or you don't get it, so that's gonna be like not that good. As for your sub 1, is not really that conducive to use that one either, just because of the fact that it is gonna be a funnel, so you're not gonna be able to rapidly spam. So that's why, in terms of lucky shot, is not that great. Some other one that you can probably use is, let's say, this one, temporary ignore enemies damage cut. So in terms of this overall unit, it is going to be a very combo heavy, but as far as damage output wise, it could be arguable, right? So that's always going to be something you want to take into consideration. As far as equipment goes, I think that should be pretty much it. I don't think there's any additional one that I'll go for this one specifically. So up next, let's go to the training route and see what kind of combo this unit is able to do. Alright, so we are over here at the training ground, looking at the Phoenix skin up front. So as far as some of your normals, so let's actually start things off with some basic melee. So there is only going to be 3 hits, but it does hit up to 6 times as far as hit rate, so that's that. So 3 hit is actually not that impressive. And then as for your holding down for your normal, that's that. Going over to the heavy, so it does obviously just kind of do like a back kick. However, I don't even know what that is. So it's kind of like an acrobatic, kind of like a spin. As for your heavy to get your enemy up, that is 2 hits right there. So that's not bad. 2 hits right there. So as far as your range, it's gonna go like this. So it's gonna be 2-shot base. So that's actually quite good to just kind of get those, combo score going up. As for your sub 1, that's gonna be your feather funnel. So that's gonna be able to hit up to 12 times. So not bad. As for your sub 2, we do have a total of a 10 hit in total. So that's why when I'm talking about this unit, is going to be able to output a lot of good combo string. Not necessarily in air or like, doing all your crazy, doing your melee, going over to your sub 1. No, this unit really isn't all about that. So let me kind of show you guys. So if you are talking about, what people normally do, go in for your melee, kind of get your enemy up, and then trying to use some of your sub 1. So this one, trying to go for a sub 1, instantly drops your enemy right there. So it's not really that conducive to use sub 1 first. So what I would do, so if you are still going with like your regular right there, so go in for the sub 2 first, then chain in your sub 2 to kind of get that nice 32 combo. So that's pretty much like the only way I found effective if you're talking about starting things off with your actual melee, for example. But let's say you are in a situation where your enemy is break, their meter is break, because you have your ally kind of doing the works. So this unit overall is going to be very good in terms of combo. So like with this whole bar, your main sub 1, sub 2, you can instantly get up to like 60, 70, and even 80 combo score right away. So what I'll do, I'll start things out with this one, then actually fly into the funnel, then go for like the regular shot attack, then go for the funnel, regular attack, funnel, and then one more right there. So you guys can see that I kind of messed up right there in terms of my actual main attack. What I would be able to do is something like this, right? So start things off with the sub 2, going with a regular melee attack, or you don't even need to, sorry, not regular melee, but shot. You don't even need to do that. So instantly just 1, 2, and bam. So instantly a 90 or 86, so that's quite good. So you can definitely chain that in to get up to 100 if you want to do that. So that's pretty much what I found effective as far as this overall unit goes. In terms of like trying to get that SP8 meter down, instantly right there you got like 8 seconds back because you were able to spam all that. And then plus you have this roll action, instantly reload that for another round. So you can just kind of instantly spam that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and 1, 2. Yeah, so you guys do kind of get the overall picture. So this unit is good as far as getting those combo score going on, but as far as let's say your SPA goes now, yes, take a look at the SPA damage. Only 3,000, huh? So that is so sad because it's gonna say melee oriented, so that is definitely very unfortunate. But I mean, I guess in terms of the combo strength, you kind of call it kind of good. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as going over to the Korean ground. I think overall, trying to get all those combo in is definitely really nice, and then having this handy, that roll action is definitely gonna be a very good thing for sure. So as for my final verdict for the Phoenix Gundam, overall, I think this unit is sufficient enough to help you clear the battle, for example. But I would say this unit itself does lack is the part of being like a really good sharpshooter, just because of the fact that the special attack is pumping out a melee base. So that right there to me is like, all right, how do I actually want to build a unit? Do I want to cater my, let's say, equipment part to melee to give it that balance feel? But at the same time, you are going to be sacrificing a lot of good damage if you are, let's say, considering that full combo, for example. So I feel like this unit is good as far as, let's say, oh, doing like a long string combo. I would definitely say in terms of my setup, having it at this base level 90 and then having those equipment I show you guys, I was able to clock in, let's say, roughly about 10,000 attacks, like in terms of damage output. So that may not even seem, let's say impressive overall, but if you consider the fact that you want to go with a like a melee build centric, with those melee parts, based off of those sharpshooter equipment, it could be okay. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just not going to be that good. So overall, this unit, it just a little bit of a recap. I think is good. Just simply of the combo string that it can offer, but for longevity wise, I feel like I'll definitely go for a little bit more, let's say, meta-esque in terms of shooting base. Like let's say you can go for like the full armor double Seda, Pioneer, or even Chatham. I think those are definitely going to be a little bit more, just attainability is definitely going to be a lot more easier since you don't have to buy the DLC. Because to keep that in mind, this is a payable unit, so I would expect this one to be a little bit better, if not even, just being like in the top rankings. But this one, obviously, in my opinion, just by using it, just doesn't really feel like it. But overall, do let me know how you guys feel about the Phoenix Gundam. Do you guys like it, dislike it? Let me know that in the comment section below, and then I'll be catching you all on the next one.